Howdy, partners. If you're a rancher, then you don't live in a thriving town. In fact, you live in an area known as the Great Plains. These are open, flat grasslands that stretch for miles. On these grasslands are an abundance of giant cattle ranches. Now, a ranch is a type of farm or area that is used for raising livestock, cattle, or sheep, for meat or wool. A ranch holds up to 2,000 cattle. Wow! Cattle ranching is a hugely important part of the cowboy life. In fact, the name cowboy comes from the idea of working with cattle.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Many women work on ranches too. We're called cowgirls. Now, not only are cattle used for trading, food, clothing, and money, but their dung is also used for fertilizer, which is used to help things grow from the soil.
Disgusting.
Raising cattle also has other uses. For example, a huge herd can help guard ranchers from intruders who are on horseback.
Oh no!
Many cowboys are known to wander the great open grasslands in search of mischief.
I'm gonna pump you full of lead.
The Texas Longhorn, which is a bull with huge pointed horns, proves to be successful when repelling an unwanted visitor. There is one main town in Buzzards Creek. However, there used to be two: San Reno and Gut Shot Square. These two towns depend a lot on these cattle ranches.
Correct.
So much so that trading routes were built to make sure that a steady flow of meat, leather, wool, and milk are supplied to shops, houses, and saloons. In fact, cowboys are known to travel down these trading routes with their cattle, and once they've sold their cattle to various customers, they then spend their money in the saloons or buy clothes in the town's shops. Ranchers who work on ranches wear special equipment. On his head, he wears a brimmed hat to help protect his head from the sun in the summer and the rain in the winter. He wears leather guards called chaps over his trousers. These protect the rancher from sharp thorns and piercing stones.
Ouch!
Every rancher also carries a lariat. This is a long piece of rope that has a loop. A skilled rancher can catch a cow by throwing a loop over its head or legs. Most importantly, a cowboy needs a comfortable saddle, as they spend most of their time riding a horse. Cowboys and cowgirls have to work long hours, which often runs into the night. They have to make sure cattle are kept closely together, and when they are on the move, they also need to make sure that all cattle are heading in the right direction. Cattle often has to move because within time, they will eat all of the fresh grass in an area. So, moving to another area is necessary. During the moving, cowboys will travel in front of the cattle or at the side. A cowboy never travels behind because they end up eating dust and flies. Yuck! Moving cattle from one place to another is known as a cattle drive. and can last up to 3 months, moving the huge herds up to hundreds of kilometers.
What?
During the night, cowboys take turns keeping watch to make sure the cattle is safe. Sometimes they sing songs to soothe the cattle. They take with them something called a chuck wagon, which carries food for the cowboys. Now, watching over this cattle ranch is a bandit known as Butch.
Sleep it off.
Butch is one of the 12 brothers who have all become outlaws. They now call themselves the Buzzard Bandits. Butch is an expert in cattle. In fact, before he became a bandit, he used to be a meat seller, a butcher. I guess this is why he's called Butch. Butch knows that a couple of cows or bulls are worth a lot of money. He also knows that a herd of cattle can easily be scared, and that firing a gunshot will not only scare the cattle, but will cause them to run, making a stampede. This will distract the ranchers, allowing Butch to use his lariat and steal a couple of livestock relatively unnoticed. However, Butch has to be careful. Many cowboys have been trampled to death by a stampede. So long, partners.